Hello, and welcome to another basketball edition of the Adrienne Ross Show. I'm glad you're here. I'm not the only one glad. My cat right here, Coco's glad too. So listen, I want to say thank you to every subscriber. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please smash that button. We're at like 31,600 plus. So let's continue to grow. Also, thank you to those who have joined the channel. You can click that join button and see those options there. So again, always appreciate all of you. Thank you again. Now, Kelsey Plum of the Las Vegas Aces, she's proved a point I've made many times. You all have heard me talk about how important it is to be able, as WNBA players, to speak with the media. I did a video that if I were WNBA commissioner, which I am not, but if I were, I gave 5 things that I would do ASAP. And the first thing I mentioned was media training. That means everyone who has a public image, a public representation of the WNBA needs to go through media training. I said players, coaches, front office, whatever, everybody. Kelsey Plum, again, proved my point. This was Friday. Las Vegas Aces played the Indiana Fever. We know how that turned out, right? I don't want to get into that right now. But at halftime, Kelsey Plum was the player who was spoken to on her way into the locker room. And then after the game, she and Chelsea Gray were both spoken to. So I'm just going to play this so you can see what's going on here, and then I'll talk about it. But remember, what I'm saying is that this is an example of what I mean when I say this league needs to mandate media training. Check this out.
All right, Kelsey, let's start with defense. You held the Fever just 13 first quarter points. What do you like about the way your team came out on that side of the ball? I don't know. Come back to me later. It seemed though every time the Fever got back into the game, your team found a response. How? We have good players.
Okay, so you saw that. You saw how she answered the questions. The first question, she was asked about how they, basically how they were able to do well defensively. And she said, after thinking about it, get back to me later. The second question had to do with how they were able to basically, stay in the game. And she said, we have good players. And so I had seen this on Twitter, and the question was asked, was she being rude? I don't think she was being rude. I think she needs media training, and I think she proves my point. So now let's go to that post-game interview where she's with Chelsea Gray, and the reporter references what's going on, what happened during halftime. Here it is.
Do you remember the halftime interview? That there was one question that you were asked early. I don't remember it, but you said come back to me as your answer. Do you remember what that question was and what you, I guess, wanted to say?
It was something about like
okay, wait. Okay. I have to stop you for a second because I'm going to go back because I just want you to watch Chelsea Gray. Like Chelsea Gray is just looking at her like she's utterly confused when watch. Well, right now she's just like this, just kind of, but watch her when Kelsey begins to talk. Okay, so here we go again.
Do you remember the halftime interview? That there was one question that you were asked early. I don't remember it, but you said come back to me as your answer. Do you remember what that question was and what you, I guess, wanted to say?
It was something about like.
Okay, I got you one more time. Just watch Chelsea.
The question was and what you, I guess, wanted to say.
It was something about like getting defensive stops or something like that. And I mean, I thought we did a great job as a team, but Kelsey Mitchell was cooking. She had a couple on me as well. So I was like, I don't want to say anything stupid. So I just said, come back to me.
Perfect answer. Thank you. Yeah, that answer. And then we have good players is making its round on social media right now. You saying we have good players.
Every time.
You guys.
Every time.
This is why I don't even
Hashtag
have-
Kelsey Plum.
I don't even have social media on my phone. No, what she asked was, and to be fair, she was like, wow, anytime Indiana makes a run, you guys just make your, like, find a way to come back. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I mean, no offense, but like,
We have good
I,
players.
I would hope so. Not like disrespectful, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we have competitors, like, yeah, like, pick one.
Chelsea.
That's what I meant, like,
That was good.
she's always on me, but you know what? People these days just don't
They
say the truth. Like, am I wrong, Katie?
Why you have to be like that?
Because sometimes I be feeling like I'm crazy. I'm
You're
like,
not crazy.
am I crazy?
I think basketball's a game of runs, and so you would expect us to come back, I guess.
No, I thought that was a great answer. No, I'm not criticizing the answer. I was just letting you know if people like the answer.
Whatever the
Oh,
people.
that's good. Let's go.
I'm a woman of the
Improvement.
people, I guess.
Matthew, did you like the answer?
Okay, so what do we get from this? She wasn't trying to be rude. Like she really is confused about, well, what am I supposed to say? And then she goes, well, I guess people are not honest because it asked me why it is that when Indiana, keeps coming at, keeps making a run, why is it that we're able to get these stops? And so she's just like, well, she asked me, and I'm like, we're a good team. Like, and she, pick a reason. Like, she totally doesn't get it. And you can tell that Chelsea is apparently they've been having this conversation because she's like, oh, hashtag Kelsey Plum. And Kelsey Plum actually says, like, she's been getting on me about this. So obviously this is a conversation. And then notice what Chelsea Gray does. She tells her what it is she should say in a situation like that. And she says it low key because she's like, good answer. But she, it's sort of that is not a good answer, but let me give you some dap. Anyway, we've been working on this, right? But she tells her how it is she should answer the question. And you can see Kelsey Plum kind of looking at her because it never dawned on her to answer the question in that way. So let's just look at that again and exactly how Chelsea stuff. I'm telling you how Chelsea is saying that you should be able to answer the question in this way. Okay, so
Do you remember the
I'm gonna slide up. So what you see, she's laughing. You see her, she's laughing because she can't believe she finds out that this is actually what she said. So she just goes, perfect answer, because it's not. So here we go.
Perfect answer.
Thank you. Yeah, that answer, and then we have good players is making its round on social media right now. You saying we have good players.
Every time.
Did Chelsea says every time. Here we go. Some more.
You guys.
Every time.
This is why
Hashtag Kelsey Plum.
I don't even have social media on my phone. No.
I don't have social media on my phone, she's saying, because I'm saying something wrong all the time. And obviously Chelsea Gray's been getting on me. And look at Kelsey Plum. She is literally really clueless about how to approach this. Okay. This is kind of lighthearted and fun, but it proves my point that they need a little bit of help with these things. Okay.
Was, and to be fair, she was like, wow, anytime Indiana makes a run, you guys just make your, like, find a way to come back. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I mean, no offense, but like,
We have good
I,
players.
I would hope so.
And Chelsea's just like, I know what you're trying to say. Let me tell you how you say it. Let me tell you how you could have answered it. And she kind of low-key corrects her right here.
Not like disrespectful, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we have competitors, like, yeah, like, pick one.
She just stared at her. He's staring at her and saying, how do I tell her what she's supposed to say when someone asks you about how you continue to come back and sustain the pressure that Indiana is putting on you by not going away?
That's what I meant. Like,
That was good.
she's always on
That was good, not is what she's saying.
me, but you know what? People these days just don't
They
say
just-
the truth. Like, am I wrong, Katie?
And she's asking, am I wrong? Like, really?
Sometimes I be feeling like I'm crazy. I'm like,
Not crazy.
am I crazy?
I think basketball.
Okay, so now this is what Chelsea says. Chelsea Gray says, "You're not crazy." And then she goes right into telling her how she should answer the question. And it's very simple, very short, nothing extra long, but she's kind of like, low key, real quick. This is how you handle it.
Am I crazy?
I think basketball's a game of runs, and so you would expect us to come back, I guess.
No, I thought that was a great.
You see what she said? Let's hear it again. How you should answer the question, not we got good players.
I think basketball's a game of runs, and so you would expect us to come back, I guess.
No, I thought that was a great answer.
Okay. So Chelsea Gray says to her, real quick, low key, down low, how you talk to the media. They ask you a specific question. You don't just say, we're good players. Because actually, I guess you could say that about every single question that they could ever ask you. How did you manage to eke out the win today? We have good players. How did you start out? What did you do to make you start off on a good run as you did? We have good players. Okay, what was the difference between you and the Indiana Fever tonight? We have good players. See, the answer could always be, we have good players, or you could explain a concept of the game, and she could have been even more specific, with maybe Chelsea Gray will fill her in later, but for now, she's saying you could at least say, basketball is a game of runs, and so, you would expect us to be able to make a run at some point. I could go even further and say, because I say this in my lives all the time when we're watching the game. Basketball is a game of runs. So you have to understand that the other team is never going to lay down and die. And so, we're two-time defending champions for a reason. And we've learned to be able to sustain these runs, whether we're home, whether we're on the road. And that's what we were able to do here in this first half. And hopefully we'll be able to maintain that in the second half. I mean, yeah. Chelsea Gray just said, you know what, basketball's a game of runs, and you would expect us to do that, trying to show her. But anyway, I say all that to say this. This is an example of why they need to be trained, because Kelsey Plum was literally clueless about what was I supposed to say, And again, this is just something light. But we start getting into other things with this league that you want to grow, and you want people to be able to market you, and you want to be able to get your message out. You want people to tune in. Then you've got to up your game, whether it's this little simple thing at halftime, or whether it's something larger down the road where people want to go, why should people tune into your product? What are you going to tell them? We have good players? No, that's not going to work. So how are you able to articulate? And it does not come naturally to every person. That's where just a little marketing, well, maybe I should say just a little media, what am I trying to say? Training would help. And before anybody says it, I'm not trying to tell them to be fake. I'm not trying to tell them to be phony, like she said. I'm not trying to, I'm not even going to try to pretend that some of the questions the media ask are not just like, really. But I am saying that we could all get sharper when you have a public presence. And it would behoove the WNBA to invest some resources if they're trying to grow this game to be able to do that and not look clueless there, as Kelsey Plum does, because she can't figure out what she did wrong. Or not wrong, but she can't figure out, like, what was I supposed to say? So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Chop it up with one another. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button, please, and check out the membership options I have as well. All right, there's a game on Sunday. I'm hoping to go live. I hope you'll join us, because we'll just be straight up having a good time. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.